Ladies and gentlemen, in today's video, we are going to be comparing three very different purchases. In this corner, we've got a Birkin bag by Hermes. The other corner, we've got a Rivian electric SUV. And finally, in probably arguably the most boring corner, we've got investments in the stock market. And you might be thinking, hey, wait a minute, buddy. Shouldn't you be comparing cars with other cars? Shouldn't you be comparing purses to other purses? And I think that's what most people do. But I think when you do that, you might be playing a little bit of a shell game with yourself. You might be comparing, like when people look at cars to buy, they typically compare like three different cars to each other. And I think sometimes you end up just comparing three bad choices to one another. Because like when you're thinking about spending money, that money isn't just used for cars or purses or investments. You can buy anything with money, and that's why you want to discuss, you want to compare three very different things. Hermes Birkin 35 Fabor. White Swift leather limited edition, 98,000 buckaroonies. Interesting. What's so good about this bag? Let's see. What does it say? Oh, it takes over 200 hours to embroider the textured natural. This comes with a lock. Oh, it's got a lock. That's pretty practical. So it's got a lock, keys, cloche, don't know what that is, sleeper, don't know what that is, raincoat, and a signature box. Cool. They give you a little box. Looks good, I guess. I don't know. I wish I knew more about this, but I think the key is these things are supposed to be just really well manufactured. They have these unique and interesting designs. I like the look of this thing. I'm sure it's going to be, what is this, like the Jungle Book type of thing? Cool. Wow, look at that stitching. Very specific. Let's zoom in there. It's supposed to be well stitched. Like the colors. What am I talking about? Let's look up the car here. What's that new Rivian that I like? Rivian SUV. Or not that I like. I want to be impartial. I've seen them on the road. Let's take a look at. Okay, let's get the best one, right? The RS1. What's the best one? The RS1 Quad. 0 to 60 in what? 2.6 seconds, 1,025 horsepower. That is four times, almost four times the amount of horsepower that my car has, and my car is pretty quick. Let's see, 38 mile range. How do we build it up? Let's okay, the launch edition. Is there a different color that I can pick? 125,990 buckaroonies or 1850 a month. Okay, so we've got 1850 a month or 126,000 bucks for this vehicle. We've got 95,000, let's just say 100,000 bucks for that Hermes bag. And now let's compare it to, let's go to investment calculator. And here's the thing, like the thing you got to keep in mind when you're thinking about purchasing anything is something called opportunity cost, okay, in the investment world. And by the way, I went to Vanderbilt and got my MBA and I took a bunch of investment courses, but I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. You got to get educated and then make your own decisions. But when you are looking to invest a lot of money into anything or any amount of money into anything, what you have to do, or what many investors or smart investors do, is they compare the thing to other possibly more valuable things. Because when you're purchasing something, when you're spending $100,000, you're not just spending $100,000, you are giving up your ability to invest that $100,000 in other possibly more valuable things. So you might think, okay, I have 100K, I'm going to spend it on this bag. And that's fine. But when you spend that 100K on that bag, that means that you are not putting that money into the stock market, right? You're not investing. So you're not investing that money into the stock market. But let's see what happens to $100,000 over, let's say, 15 years. Okay. And when you invest in stock market index funds, which is a pretty low risk way of investing, it's like buying every single stock in the stock market. So some stocks will go up, some stocks will go down. Over the last 95 years, 100 years, the average return of the stock market has been 11.66%, which is why I'm putting this number in. And let's say we just don't put any additional money in. Let's see what happens to $100,000 over 15 years put into the stock market at 11.66% return, which is what the stock market returns. And what that means, by the way, is if you put $100 in and you get an 11.66% return, at the end of the year, the thing that you put $100 into will be worth $111.66. So that's what that means. And if this is complicated, you can check out. Well, let's do the calculation. It shouldn't be too complicated. So that's the thing. Look at that end balance. So if you invest 100K and you get a pretty modest, considered a pretty modest return, 11.66%, then and you wait 15 years, you're not even adding any additional money into it, then your portfolio, your account, your investment account should be worth $522,000. You 5x your investment over the course of 15 years. And the reason I mention this is because when people look at things that they want to purchase, like for me, even a $20,000 car is way too expensive. The reason I mention that is like what I've learned over the course of my project is, like I thought that these cars would make me happy. I thought when I bought my first Porsche, like that was the best thing ever because I'm a car lover and I thought it was going to be the best thing. None of the cars made me happy. I mean, it was a rush buying them and then driving them around initially, but after like 2 or 3 weeks, it just becomes like the watch on your wrist, the shoes on your feet. They're just not that exciting, and which was a shame, right? What really did make me feel good, what does make me feel good is helping other people and having experiences, spending time with family, spending time with friends, reading a good book, meditating, that kind of stuff actually brings me joy. And actually making these videos brings me a little bit of joy as well. So yeah, check out $4,000 Porsche, and I'm gonna make my course free. So right now it's like 650 bucks, but I'm just gonna make it free because, well, it's gonna be worse than free for me because I actually have to pay to host the videos. But I really just want you all to learn about investments and finances and stuff like that because I think the world's going to be a better place if they should have taught this stuff in high school. Like, why don't people know what opportunity cost is? Why don't people know how money compounds in the stock market? Like, I have to go to Vanderbilt. I got to go to like an expensive fancy school to learn this stuff. It's ridiculous. It's like not even that complicated. One thing you can do if you're looking at a Birkin or anything is like buy a used one. I saw a bunch of them up for sale for 10,000. Come on, my internet is so slow. I saw a bunch of Birkin bags on sale. What is this company? Pre-owned Hermes Birkin bags, vintage bags. And sometimes these old bags, never mind 50,000 buckaroonies. What is going on here? There's got to be a bag for 10K, right? That you can buy. Well, even 10K seems like a lot of money to me. What I'm saying is, if you're looking for, there, this looks nice. This might be the one. That might be the one. Um, if you're looking for a Birkin bag, one thing you can do instead of spending that 100K is find an older one that's pre-owned, still looks good, is serviceable. 2008. Wow. Wait, so it's lost value, right? If this is a 2008 Hermes Birkin 35 and it's 19K, I don't know what the price was, but right now, like it's the brand new ones are 100K. So has this thing lost value? Did it gain value? Let me know in the chat below. And if you're looking for, if you're looking to buy that Rivian, one thing you can do is just buy a used vehicle, like a 10-year-old or even a 20-year-old vehicle. Like check out the 2001 Toyota 4Runner. It's an SUV. It's rugged. It's well liked. And the cool thing about them is these things are timeless. They're indestructible. I've had one of them. They're kind of a bumpy ride, but they're so dependable. They're such good vehicles. You can sometimes find one in good shape that's like $5,000, and then you spend maybe 1,500 bucks per year maintaining it, and then it just keeps on running. And then sometimes you can sell it for 10,000 bucks. And that's what I did over and over again. I would buy a car cheaply and then sell it for a profit. I would drive it around, and then when I would get bored, I would sell it for a little bit more than I paid. My rule when I was buying and selling cars, I like cars, is I would never buy something that I couldn't resell for a profit. But even with that mentality, like I made money on every single car that I bought and sold. Even that mentality wasn't the best thing from an investment perspective, right? So like I should have, had I known back then, if I had my MBA education, my investment knowledge then, I would have just put all the money that I had into the markets and then consistently on a monthly basis just put more and more money into the stock markets, because then those investments would have compounded and I would have way more money now, and then I could just buy whatever I wanted. So that's the other thing to consider. Everyone's in a different period of their lives. If you are in the period of your life in which you are building wealth, you're in that wealth building phase, then maybe it doesn't make sense to make extravagant purchases now. Maybe it makes sense to make those investments now and then wait, 10 or 15 years, because 10 or 15 years will pass and you will be experiencing life just like you're experiencing it today. On the other hand, if you're in that period of life where you've made your millions of dollars and you're very, very successful and you're in that what's called the burn down period, well, yeah, you need to spend some money to enjoy yourself at that time. But life is all about balance. I think I'm not going to give you any advice, but life is all about balance. You want to enjoy yourself while making the right decisions for yourself, and that means different things for different people. But yeah, let me know. Would you go with that $95,000 Birkin bag, the Rivian, a used Forerunner, a used Birkin bag, or would you invest in the stock market? Let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let me know if you want more videos like this, because I don't know what you guys want, you guys and gals want. And I will see you next time.